Hi everyone, it's Samantha Lux. Welcome back to my channel. Remember our friend Nancy Mace from a few weeks ago? You know, the Congresswoman that filed the bill against Sarah McBride, the only trans woman in Congress. Well, just this last week, she got into yet another little tussle with somebody over trans rights.
Claiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman.
Oh my God, this clip of it has been going absolutely viral, but you guys are missing out on the context. You're missing out on the beforehand and the aftermath of this clip. So for today's video, we're gonna be watching not only this viral clip, but also a bit more of this back and forth because it's honestly a bit darker than this clip leads on. My name is Samantha Lux. I post new videos twice a week here on my channel. So if you guys are not yet subscribed and you would like to be, go ahead and do that right now. Go ahead. I'll wait for you. Go ahead. Are you done? Thank you very much. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram, Twitter. I do have my Twitter again, and TikTok. Yes, TikTok is back. Oh my God. The only good news of this last week, honestly. We'll take what we can get. Also, fun little side note, I play Nintendo games over on my Twitch account every single week. And finally, if you guys like the work that I do here on my channel and you would like to support that work, Patreon is the best way to do that. Thank you so much to my current patrons. I really appreciate you and you really help make this work possible. But yeah, with no further ado, let's get right into these viral clips because you guys, I can't believe this is a literal House committee meeting.
Chair recognizes Ms. Mace.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't think we should be taking the advice from a group of people who can't define what a woman is. You certainly can't define what government efficiency is. So let's just start right there, Mr. Chairman. I support the subcommittee, the creation of the subcommittee on DOGE. I wildly support Marjorie Taylor Greene. BS. And someone brought up dignity earlier. I would love to see dignity and respect for women up here on the Hill, which is why we should ban men from women's spaces.
6.5 hours later.
Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett.
I'm so glad that we could finally end that nice little propaganda commercial break. Listen, I don't know what Ms. Mace was talking about. I thought we were talking about government efficiency. Last time that I checked, this committee has been governed by the Republicans. Y'all had a chance, you chose not to use it, and honestly, whenever y'all are ready to work, we on this side of the aisle have always been ready to do what is right by the American people. Instead, what you can continue to do is go after the most vulnerable in our country. The fact that you just sat up there and somehow figured out how to tie trans folk to your argument makes no sense to me. But let me tell you something, trans people ain't going nowhere. Just like when the racists wanted to make sure that black people somehow were going to be dismissed in this country, we ain't left either.
Nancy Mace immediately takes the time to bring up trans people, to make her snarky little remarks. And like Ms. Crockett is saying, this meeting is just not about trans people at all. But she immediately takes the time to bring up and slander trans people, throw her snarky little remarks. My favorite of which being that we hate women, that we don't like women, simply because we refuse to believe her bullshit that trans people are a threat in bathrooms. Need I remind you, as Ms. Crockett says later in this meeting, Republicans are the ones who praised Roe v. Wade being overturned. They're the ones who work towards it. Nancy Mace is yelling about how Republicans are the only one who care about women, and they're the only one who care about women who have been sexually assaulted and, you know, R-worded, and yet Republicans are also the ones who are responsible for the 64,000 victims who, because of Roe v. Wade being overturned, had to carry their assaulter's child to term. I love that Ms. Crockett said that trans people aren't going anywhere because, bitch, no, we are not. Even with this executive order that Trump just signed, redefining male and female or whatever, trans people are always going to exist. We're always going to be here, and we are never going to be the problem. Okay, so things kind of fizzled out between them, and then a little bit later on, it gets a little bit feisty again. So let's watch that.
I don't see the type of courage that the people that served back in the 60s had coming out of some of our colleagues. And so I'm asking you to do the courageous thing today and just institute a subcommittee that would make sure that we are looking out for those protections of everyone in this country to make sure that we have real freedom, something that we all supposedly espouse to believe in.
I find it extremely rich and offensive. So coming from a party that can't define what a woman is and won't give women the right to privacy. You all want men with penises, chicks with dicks, in the bathroom with us. You want women to be forced to undress in front of men in the locker room and in dressing rooms. And it's so hypocritical. Women have the right to change and not be feared that somebody with their sexual perversion, someone who's confused about their gender, we have the right to feel safe in these spaces. We have the right to know that we're not going to have trans people filming us in the bathroom. How many of these trannies are taking selfies? These men are taking selfies in women's spaces, in the bathroom. It's gross. It's disgusting. So if we're going to talk about civil rights, let's talk about the rights of women in this country and how you are stripping them away every single day.
Whoa. Unfortunately, yes, there are people like this. Yes, they exist. Crazy that this one is in the House of Representatives. I know. But truly, I feel like the majority of people don't feel this way. They do not feel that trans people are sexually perverse people that are just out to assault women. Maybe you're somebody out there and you do have concerns, or you have questions about what being trans means, or you have, questions about what's okay to say or whatever. That's understandable. I do not think that this person, Nancy Mace, is somebody that represents somebody like that who simply has concerns or has questions. This is extreme hatred and honestly just blatant lies about an already extremely vulnerable community. I don't know if she thinks this is going to elevate her career or make her money or what, but this is extreme. Calling us perverted and freaks is just not representative of what America thinks. Trans women simply using the women's bathroom does not take away women's rights. I'm sorry. If you do creepy things in a bathroom, it's obviously illegal, but how much of a right to privacy do you think you have in this public bathroom? It's not even illegal for a cisgender man, not even pretending to be trans or whatever, to go into the women's bathroom. And the vast majority of Americans support the LGBT community and the LGBT community's right to live their life free of discrimination.
I don't even know how we got there, because I tried to make it clear how many civil rights, it doesn't just boil down to one conversation, but I can see that somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, 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 so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do
not.
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I am 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have.
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I
Order,
am
please.
reclaiming my
Let's go.
time.
You will not do that. I
Order.
am not a child.
Chairman,
I
am
not a
reclaiming
child.
my time.
If you want to take it outside, we
Mr.
can
Chairman,
do
the
that.
committee is not
Okay.
in order.
All right. Order.
What is this country becoming? How is this allowed? And I'll tell you, they voted on whether or not this was inciting violence. Afterwards, her saying, let's take it outside. They voted that it was not inciting violence, that it was just, we can take it outside and speak about it over coffee. Oh my God. And it's just, this whole backpedaling is so symbolic of the way that these people play. They don't care about the actual rules at all. They do whatever they want, and then they just manipulate their way around afterwards. Ms. Crockett is exactly right. This is fear-mongering and this is propaganda. That's it. If you can provide any substantial evidence that trans women pose a threat in women's bathrooms, then I'll hear you out, whatever, but there's just simply none. And if you're going to, again, ignore the 64,000 rape victims that are now going to have to suffer and carry their assaulters baby to term because of laws that the Republicans are passing, if they're not going to say anything about that, but instead the 3 people that pretended to be trans and assaulted a woman, I just cannot take them seriously. I cannot take their concern for women's safety seriously. But honestly, at this point, I'm kind of grateful for Nancy Mace, and I think you know why. This insanity doesn't look like anything besides that. Insanity. Even the average person who, like I said, has concerns about a trans person, who might not be on board with minors transitioning, whatever, they can look at this and understand that this is absurd. They can look at this and see that this is extreme. And honestly, the harder they try to make us look like an enemy, crazier they look. Like me? An enemy? Girl up. But yeah, you guys, that is pretty much it for this video. Like I said, I post new videos twice a week here on my channel, so if you guys are not yet subscribed, please subscribe right down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up down below. And yeah, other than that, I think I'm gonna go. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.